everybody has every option until they don't. And what we mean by that is part of this is it's about timeline. The realities are that if you have a year is a wonderful amount of time to be able to consider all the different options and what you can do, particularly if you're looking at something like the go public option, which is going to be more complicated. But essentially, a lot of this decision point is going to come around how much time do you have? And we talked about it as a group earlier, and kind of came to the 6 months is optimal. As you get below 6 months, you start to have more and more challenges about which one of the options you have. But essentially, you're going to go out and you're going to have to figure out, do you want to raise capital or equity? And you have to ask yourself and the people that you already have involved in your company, either the investors or the debt holders or other people, what they're likely to be interested in participating in, or what outcomes they're looking for. And you have to weigh that, because you're not going to be able to satisfy everybody, but it's a consideration. And then you need to see whether maybe you need some more time. And so if you need more time, then you want to start thinking about maybe sale leaseback as a way of getting more money in to be able to fund yourself for a longer period of time. Looking at non-core assets is another area where we've found that if a company basically, sometimes you've got to stop and look around. When I was young, somebody taught me, if you're playing pool, the first thing you do after every shot is you walk all the way around the table so you can see all the different angles and shots that there are. And one of those is on non-core assets. Sometimes you end up with things in your business that came early on that you inherited or that were important at one point in time, and you're still supporting them, but they're not as critical. And so being really thoughtful as you analyze your core business, what your real value is, and being able to look at, say, what are the non-core assets? And then obviously it's going and trying to do a transaction. If you're not going to be able to operate within the existing structure, then you need to go and look at a transaction. And I think that's kind of where we've seen a lot from the Viridian folks about how that looks and where it goes. And then finally going public, that's an obvious one. I think there are a lot of challenges right now in the obviously in the overall market, and there's certain places to go, but I'm sure there's some more input on that. But I think those are kind of where you're looking at your options, but you have to start with that understanding what you've got, and also understanding the constituencies that you have about what they'd be willing to support, because those are all going to play in.